very, very quickly to give them some impetus. Kick off the ground by Campbell, rebounds to Long, gets the hand pass away. Melbourne still got it there. Viney, rugby style. Grenvold is caught. Still Melbourne. Chance, the handball comes to Tingay. Over the top, Healy. Heavik tries to give it to him. Now Greg Healy's got it. The left foot snapshot into the pocket. Kicked off the ground there by Vanderhaar, close to the line. Heaver and Hamilton. Hamilton gets back. He puts his feet over, but keeps the ball in. O'Donnell's caught with the ball by Road. And the umpire calls for a boundary throw-in. Well within scoring distance for Melbourne. Although the wind is blowing into that pocket. Campbell leaves it behind. Umpire surely will have to call for another bounce. It's about 45, maybe a little closer, 40 metres from the Melbourne goal. And the Demons badly need to get one very early in this last quarter. They trail 13-12. Essendon, Melbourne 9-10. Madden over the top. Grenvold is caught and he's penalised.
Yes, good decision. Very good decision there by the umpire, because Grenvold threw himself forward when he knew the tackle was about to be applied by Todd Viney there. And he also let the ball go completely. There he goes, throws himself forward. And a very good tackle by Todd Viney.
So an important kick for Melbourne to be taken by Todd Viney. Renowned for his tackling and fierce desire to get the football. He's kicking from about 35 metres. Angle not all that difficult. The kick looks pretty good. It's there.
Todd Viney's first goal. 13-12 to 10-10. 20 points the difference.
Well, they're still in it, Melbourne. They're not beaten yet. Todd Viney, very tenacious player. As we have a look at that free kick again, Grenvold takes possession of the ball. The tackle is applied there by Viney. Grenvold throws himself forward and doesn't do anything about getting rid of the ball. There's the kick from Viney from about 40 metres out, and this gives Melbourne a real chance.
Can Melbourne come back? Viney's first goal giving the Demons some sort of hope. Danaher, kick short, up to kick it and stretch. O'Donnell for Essendon. Out to Michael Long. Werner. Within kicking distance.
May have been lucky to have been paid that mark, Pete.
Let's have a look at it again.
Oh, yeah. Well, did he hold that long enough? I don't think so.
Controlled it at all.
No way did he control that.
Well, I've heard people criticising umpires for decisions because they turn matches. And here's a terrific example. Werner within, what, 35 metres?
And a pretty accurate kick for goal, I think you said earlier. He spent the first half on the bench. He's kicked one goal. I don't think he's going to score a goal with that kick. So 1 goal, 2. He's kicked now, Michael Werner. 20 minutes and 35 seconds left in this match. 21 points the difference. So where there's life, there's hope for Melbourne. Danny Hughes kicks in. That's another mammoth kick. He's kicked it almost to the centre of the ground. Great effort. Good tackle by Tingay. Madden out to Long. A quick kick from a standing start. Todd Viney. Well, you could almost argue that was a mark as well, I suppose. Healy. Opportunity. Goes backwards to Danny Hughes, who fumbles at the crucial moment.
It was a bad handball.
Yeah, terrible handball there from Greg Healy. Not under a lot of pressure. Should have been able to hit Danny Hughes on the chest.
So out of bounds, left forward pocket for Melbourne. Madden and O'Dwyer have been a little bit quieter in the second half. So far, at least. Madden wins out. Stretch. Pushed off it by Kickett. Healy puts the body in well. Kickett's up and under. And the ball back almost in the same place. So a boundary throw in again. Almost in the identical position.
Ruckman, O'Dwyer and Madden. They had a real go at each other at the first bounce. Kick goes clear from Lovett. And he puts it out of the danger zone for the Demons, outside 50 metres at Essendon's left half forward. Big Steve O'Dwyer. A decent whack in the mouth. There's a small scoreboard showing you that Essendon are leading by 21 points. Spalding, Lyon. Now Melbourne edge it into their forward half. Punched away, comes back towards Flintoff, who's been very creative. He's run down by Grenvold. Gets the handball away to Jackson. Jackson, good pass. Oh, Campbell nearly got it. Eichel will. Great tackle, Vanderhaar. And Eichel should be penalised. He is. Well, desperate stuff, wasn't it, Bernie?
It was from both players there. Paul Vanderhaar did well to be able to get there in the first place and knock the ball away from Campbell.
50 metres against the Melbourne player for not getting the ball back to Paul van der Haar on the full.
That's about 4 against Melbourne today. 2 have cost them goals.
So van der Haar will come up into the centre of the field. Oh, it's Greg Healy, actually, for knocking him over.
Well, Greg Healy had no reason to be there at all. Actually ran right over the mark.
Could be critical. Van der Haar, 45-metre kick towards the 50-metre line. Melbourne mark taken by Steins. Clean mark at centre-half back to the Melbourne ruckman.
He's been quiet, Robbo, today.
He has, hasn't he? Playing with no confidence, Jimmy Steins, at the moment. The high kick, Campbell over the top, can't mark. Izzard grabs the bouncing ball. Short kick to the advantage of Long. Out in front of that player. And it sits beautifully for him. A little chip right footer. And it's an Essendon mark taken by Manning. Manning right on the 50-metre line.
There's Michael Long again. Every time he gets the ball running into the forward line, he never blazes away. Always looks for a teammate.
Manning going for goal. The high drop punt kick goes across the face. And it's helped through now for a behind to Essendon. So the Bombers now lead by 22 points, and we've got 18 minutes left. There's Watson and Flood on the interchange bench there for Essendon as Danny Hughes prepares to bring the ball back in.
Brian Wilson back on the ground too. He's replaced Simon Eishold.
Kick up to half-back. Danaher late on the scene. Chips in. Another mark. What a great game. It just seems to get better with age, doesn't he? Like a good port. What are his stats today? Pretty impressive. Terry Danaher, 17 kicks. Dwyer and Madden. Madden with the front position.
Peter, it's amazing how experience is a great teacher. At no stage was Terry Danaher going to kick that ball.
No, he's
until
looking
he
around,
saw someone make a lead. And
He
it was
was
his old
looking around.
comrade, Simon Madden.
And he wasn't even really a pass. He just put it in position where Simon Madden had a run at the ball and could get a jump out in front of Steve O'Dwyer.
Not the best stats that Simon Madden has had, I suppose. He and O'Dwyer have probably taken each other out of the game. Trusty left foot. Results in a goal. Madden's first and the 11th Essendon player to score a goal today. 14-14 to 10-10 at Windy Hill.
Melbourne get forward through Todd Viney. Bennett can't mark. Van der Haar tries to crash his way through. Successfully does. Goes back into the centre. Kick it. Running onto it, Burns. He's grabbed around the neck by Lyon. And certainly an obvious free kick going to Essendon to be taken by Burns. Burns has spotted a player further afield. The pass is wide. No mark taken. Danaher. Kick it. Well smothered. Anderson. On the right foot goes Greg Anderson, and he puts it through. What a great goal.
Anderson second, and that just about gets the Bombers home, you'd suggest, as the scoreboard reads 15-14, 104, leading Melbourne by 34 points.
The class starting to show through now for Essendon. So many good players once they have the opportunities. Cransberg, Terry Danaher. The kick smothered there by Earl Sporting. A good smother by Melbourne, but they have the players in support. A great running goal on his wrong foot there, Greg Anderson. The right foot is a natural left footer, but showing great skills on the opposite side of his body.
16 minutes left. Essendon get clear of the centre again. Yates is under pressure from Manning, close to the line. Yates tries to kick it off the ground, but crashes into that small scoreboard as the ball goes over for a boundary throw-in.
The spikes looked a bit dangerous over there, Robbo, from the Little League. The goalposts.
15 3/4 minutes left in this game. Danaher's kick is high. Doesn't get too much distance. Cransberg could be hurt on the ground there. Lyon kicks to the centre of the ground and kicks effectively too. At the half forward, which is Darren Bennett. Cransberg still in the hands of the trainers at the other end of the ground. It's a little pain too, just got the glasses on him. Bennett's kick at goal is pretty long and accurate. Darren Bennett second, and a very valuable one for Melbourne. Still hanging in, but they're a long way from home. 15-14 to 11-10. Now Kransberg back on his feet. Let's take a look how he went down here, going for the big specky.
There's Tingay coming the other way there, put the boot in, and Kransberg feeling that in a pretty sensitive area.
Well, he's still on the ground, so that's the good news for Essendon with Timmy Watson sidelined. Jimmy Stynes is going to have a stint in the ruck. As we mentioned not long back, has been a pretty quiet player today. Stynes and Salmon. So, two new men at the centre bounce. Flintoff up to half forward. That's a good mark taken by Darren Bennett.
Well, that's an identical position, isn't it, basically?
Just a little bit further out, I think, Robbo.
Well, he kicked the last one from about the 50-metre line. He won't be much different here, maybe a metre or so.
It's closer.
He's kicked two. Should get the distance. He's got it. Identical result, another goal. All of a sudden, Melbourne getting back a little bit closer. 15-14 to 12-10. The Demons trailing by 22 points.
Yeah, still a big margin to make up. Darren Bennett at last finding some space to lead into on that forward line. He does kick the ball very well when he has the opportunity from around that 45-50 metre mark. And that gives Darren Bennett 59 goals for the season. Been a very good forward for Melbourne.
Well, the game's far from over. Love it. Kicks Melbourne into their forward half. They're under pressure, the Bombers. Considine overruns it. Tries to flip it back to give himself the opportunity to clear the ball, but can't do so. And the umpire calls for a bounce. Right on the corner of the centre square, about 60 metres from the Melbourne goal. Salmon, O'Dwyer. Salmon gets the tap out. It goes wide. Kick off the ground by O'Donnell. From mid-air, Spalding kicks with the left foot. Kicks it pretty well, but O'Donnell's there. Handball is good. Anderson could be run down by Jackson. Good play, Jackson. Anderson's kicking short. Kick it marks. Kick it at centre half forward. Maybe too far out to score. He's gone for the short. Stretch touches it. Great gather by Anderson. Lovely hand pass, which he's not used to. Werner shrugs the tackle and kicks awkwardly into the pocket over on the full free kick to Hughes.
Well done, Stephen Stretch. Put a lot of pressure on Werner there.
Hughes' kick finishes with Lovett. Lovett looking to move the ball quickly. Could have nearly been called to play on. Now he will play on. Runs straight across centre half back. Gives it to Lyon. Lyon will put Melbourne into attack. The short kick. O'Dwyer, no, too high. Melbourne a chance through Heaver. Nearly gets the ball. Now he does. He breaks clear. No, he doesn't. He's still got a chance. And eventually, he kicks it up to full forward. No mark taken. Opportunity for Bennett. Left foot kick by Bennett. Hooks around, but it's through for a behind. So Melbourne still in this game with a real chance. We've got 12 minutes left, and they trail by 21 points.
And they want some goals, and they still want them quickly.
If they can get the next goal, I think they may have a big chance to get back into this match, but they certainly need the next one.
Ball kicked out by Considine. And like Danny Hughes at the other end, gets a pretty fair distance with the kick. Yates on the bottom of it. Lyon slippers it away. Not very far. No free kick. Yates again. Short kick on the mark. Taken for Melbourne by Flintoff. Over to Healy. Snapshot is there. Now a belated run from the Demons. Their 13th goal kicked by their skipper. 15-14 to 13-11.
Well, it looked all over halfway through this quarter, but still with 11, well, nearly 12 minutes left on the clock, and Melbourne coming with a flourish here in this last quarter. Darren Bennett kicked 2 goals. Greg Healy, who has been quiet, kicking his first. Timmy Watson back on the ground trying to lift the Bombers. Have come to a standstill in this last quarter.
Probably put Simon Madden back in the ruck soon too. Salmon wins it out from the centre though. Oh, that was bad play from Yates. And Watson, just the man to liven up the Bombers, nearly gets caught. Yates runs straight at the ball, but he leaves it for his skipper Healy. And Healy kicks towards the centre wing position, and Campbell out-positioned by Considine, who takes the safe mark.
Gee, that was a poor kick. When you're in the clear and you give it away to the opposition. Again, Melbourne, irrepressive. Lyon to Viney. No mark. Punched away by Van der Haar. And Watson in lots of trouble back at centre half forward for Essendon. 2 trainers coming out to attend him. Boundary throw in 50 metres from the Melbourne goal. Goal here to Melbourne, and I tell you what, this big crowd here at Windy Hill will certainly have something to shout about. Wilson on the bottom of it there with Grenvold. Umpire calls for a bounce. Only 15 points of difference, and we've got 11 minutes left in the game.
I think Essendon probably wouldn't have Tim Watson on the ground if the other 2 players, Cransberg and Flood, weren't injured.
Hamilton's kick smothered. Thompson dispossessed. Ball rebounds. Now it comes to Jackson. The short pass is effective, and the mark is taken by Viney. And Van der Haar, you were lucky you didn't make contact. Is that Long down behind play?
Yes, it is.
Just inside the 50-metre line. He's in lots of trouble, Michael Long.
If Essendon win this, it'll be what we call a Pyrrhic victory, won't it? The attrition rate's been pretty high out there.
There was Michael Long going down just behind Ricky Jackson as he delivered the ball to Todd Viney. And if Viney can kick a goal here, it'll only be 9 points of difference. Oh, shocker. Absolute shocker.
Well, that's where pressure players and good players in pressure situations such as that come through with the goods, and Todd Viney never went back with any confidence when he was having that shot at goal.
Still 10 minutes left in this game. Last few minutes have provided a touch of drama. Salmon and O'Dwyer. Salmon has the mark. Paul Salmon from left half back kicks over the head of Peter Rode out to Thompson. Hughes punches for the boundary line and Lovett. And in that order, and Long also getting up but also limping. So Long, Watson and Flood all carrying injuries. Danaher. They've got a free kick there. Ball booted out of the pack. Anderson, courageous effort to mark. Couldn't drag it down. Healy to Jackson. Jackson up towards the right half forward flank. Van der Haar missed it. Opportunity for Bennett. Izzard. Considine. Jackson again. Kicks at goal. And I think has got it. He has. Jackson's 3rd goal. And Melbourne giving them a shake.
Who said this game was all over?
Well, it looked all over, didn't it? When Greg Anderson put that goal through on his right foot.
You get the impression Essendon are resting on their laurels. Every time they make a surge, they get back on their heels.
Well, they may have been thinking the same as we did at that stage because it looked as if it was all over. But Ricky Jackson there, that's a magnificent goal off the boundary line. His 3rd goal, his first in this final quarter. Melbourne coming home with a full steam of head.
The closest that Melbourne has got since the first quarter of the match here at Windy Hill. Ricky Jackson putting through his 3rd goal. We get a new ball. We've still got 9 minutes to go, and it's 104 to 95. 9 points in it. Can Melbourne pull off a miraculous victory? Can Essendon hang on? The Bombers under pressure. They shot out to a 5-goal break, but now Melbourne has come back. O'Dwyer and Salmon. Salmon again, but not a decisive tap down. Almost a free kick. Long comes out with the ball to Izzard. Izzard's kick to the edge of the square. Anderson running again with the flight of the ball and courage. Good tackle by Stretch. The ball spills free. And Anderson luckily gets a free kick.
Anderson runs around onto that favoured left foot and kicks it long towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Ball rebounds. Chance now for Manning. He's well tackled by Lyon. Ball runs free. Burns. Sweeping hand pass. Watson. Watson hooks the ball and kicks it behind. Exciting stuff here at Windy Hill as Melbourne make a surge at the league leaders.
It's 4 behind to Tim Watson for the day.
Hughes, a short kick. Love it. How did he get on his own? There's another player on his own. It's Steins. Player over the top. It's got to be Rowe. He'll take it. He could be run down by Long. Gets the handball away. Opportunity for Viney. Gets around too easily. Viney's long kick to centre half forward. Bennett in front. Punched away. Goes back towards the centre. Opportunity for Healy. Comes back towards Heaver. He slips over. Critical. So Essendon dive on the football at centre half forward.
Steins is down behind play. Let's see what happened to him. Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Andrew Manning, I think, wasn't it?
Or was it Burns?
Might have been Burns.
Yes,
Might have been Burns.
That did not look good.
Lyon kicks it high towards full forward. Melbourne mark Bennett. And the Demon fans are alive and well at Windy Hill. Jimmy Steins regains his footing, and Melbourne will need him in the last 7 minutes. This kick could make it 4 points the difference.
He's kicked well in this last quarter too, Darren Bennett.
He's kicked 3 goals, as you can see. Lovely kick, is his 4th goal.
4 goals to Darren Bennett, and it's only a kick in it now at Windy Hill, 15-11 to 15-15. The umpire decides that he's going to do just that, and it will be a ball up.
Tony Campbell should have turned and kicked that. There were 2 players hot on his tail.
Pretty crowded out there now. Lyon, as good as a kick, inside 50. Healy tried to find the hand pass, couldn't do so. Tingay on the end of run, kicks it, goal. And had he kicked straight, Melbourne would have been in front for the first time today. As it is, they still trail by 3 points, 102 to 105. 6 1/4 minutes left in this match. And if somebody had told me that Melbourne would have got this close at 3/4 time, I think I would have called the police, Robbo.
There was never much in this. I'll tell you what, they've just been nipping away all day, Melbourne.
Without looking as though they're going to be a serious threat, though, just the same. Van der Haar, long. Watson. Tackled well by Hughes. Tingay again from a standing start. Spiral punt. Bennett late on the scene. Couldn't mark. Wilson. Van der Haar. Kick it. And he will. Now he's going to go for the hand pass to the brilliant Anderson. Gets Scragg. Still gets the possession away. Steins goes down again. Looking for the free kick and gets one at left half-back flank.
And the ball will have to go back to the giant Melbourne ruckman at half-back. Don't know whether I'd take a risk of handball here. No, he's going to kick it long, high towards the wing. Oh, push out by Salmon. But Buick goes in and gets the football, but Tingay does pretty well to hold it in. Desperate stuff there by the Melbourne wingman. And a bounce will take place on centre wing. Eishold preparing to come back on for Melbourne. They really can't get a message to the player that they're trying to replace. O'Dwyer tries to take the ball. Tingay tackle. Kick off the ground by Heaver. Gather by Watson. High kick. Madden goes straight through him. Stretch gets back. He's usually a beautiful kick, and this is no exception with the left foot. Towards centre forward. No mark. Jackson. Handball over the top. In trouble is Hamilton, but he's able to thread his way through and kick it back. Oh, great mark. What a magnificent mark by Lyon. He gives the handball away. Melbourne surging forward. Here comes Danny Hughes. Long to within goal score. Oh, mark to Bennett. It's great stuff at Windy Hill.
What a mark that.
Oh, Lyon before that too, Bernie. Was a beauty, wasn't it, under pressure?
They've shown a lot of character, Melbourne, to come back from where they were. The position looked hopeless. It did. Paul Van der Haar was used as a stepladder there by Darren Bennett.
Bennett a chance to kick his 5th and put Melbourne in front. It's a beautiful kick. It's straight through the centre.
5 goals to Darren Bennett and a remarkable turnaround at Windy Hill. That was Melbourne's 7th goal for the last quarter. 16-12 to 15-15 in a thriller.
Darren Bennett 4 goals in his final term. As I said earlier, he injured that thigh in the first half, and that's a magnificent mark. Jumped early, got the ride on Paul Van der Haar, and his kicking in this last quarter has been magnificent.
4 minutes to go in this match. Can Essendon come back? They need a goal. Watson looking for the free. It's socket off the ground up towards half forward on the 50-metre line. Madden right on it. Here's a chance for Buick if he can gather it. It's Werner. Snapshot. Is there or is it a behind? 1 point to the Bombers. They trail by 2 points. 15-16 to 16-12. 3 3/4 minutes left. Danny Hughes to kick in. They looked a beaten side, didn't they? And then they came out, slowly pegged back the league leaders, and they're in front. Good kick by Hughes. Punch away by Madden. Rowe. Kick smothered. Does well. Butters up again. Rhodes kick down towards right half forward. In front is Campbell. Can't take the mark. Considine. Melbourne trying to close the ball up, knowing that perhaps time is on their side.
It's a long way from Essendon's goal now, Peter, with 3 minutes left.
3.25.
Well, if Melbourne can get some luck out of this ruck contest, Salmon taps it out the back. Kick goes forward from Viney into the pocket. Close to the line. It's helped over by O'Donnell. And I don't know whether Essendon need that. They trail by 2 points. And what a magnificent comeback by Melbourne. They've always looked in trouble, but they've shown some character. Salmon is dispossessed. So is Hamilton. Somehow he got it to Danaher. They've got it clear. Thompson at centre half back. Handball. Oh, it's a stray. Bennett gathers. Over the top, kick it. No free kick. Good tough stuff. And the umpire swallows his whistle until he elects to bounce.
Well done by the big full forward again, Darren Bennett.
2.5 minutes left. Time for Essendon to take it forward. Time for Melbourne to get a goal and maybe seal it. It's about 65 metres from the Melbourne goal. O'Dwyer gets it. Flintoff can't break clear. Eichel gets a handball out. Melbourne are clear. The kick goes into the forward pocket and it bounces out on the full. So a free kick to be taken back there by Van der Haar. Go back and mind the mark, son. Van der Haar in the back pocket.
Van der Haar's kick to the edge of the square. Huge pack of players, and huge is the operative word because Paul Salmon's dragged it down. Now can Essendon build something on this? Over to Watson, still running despite injured. Thompson, well tackled by Rowe. Heaver, leave it to Heaver, and they do. Heaver, inside 50. Long hand pass. Can Melbourne wrap it up? Jackson, kicks, but only one behind.
Might be an important kick because it's kept the ball down.
He's got another kick.
Another kick, yeah.
With the option of, I guess he'd take it because he can improve on that. Ricky Jackson, who has kicked 3 goals today.
There's a free against Burns there. Late tackle in the back.
And the clock has been stopped at 1:35. And Jackson pulling up the socks, thinking he's perhaps wasting a little bit.
Kicked 3 goals, Ricky Jackson too.
Good effort. 20 kicks. 24 possessions. This could make the game pretty interesting. He's kicked a goal this time. It's the Jackson 4. 15-16 to 17-12, and it's Melbourne by 8 points in a boil over.
Yes, quite right, Peter Landy. Boil over, a great performance in the last quarter. Bennett finished with 5, Jackson, we've just seen 4, and for Essendon, Flood 3. The final scoreline showing Essendon going down to Melbourne. Melbourne 17-12.